Margaret was 62 years old and lived alone in a quiet town in Ohio. Every morning, she sat by her kitchen window with a cup of warm tea, watching the same maple tree sway gently in the wind. Her husband, Robert, had passed away 8 years ago, and her children were grown, busy with their own lives. Some days the silence felt peaceful. Most days it felt heavy. One cold October morning, Margaret noticed a small blue sweater lying on the bench outside her house. It looked handmade, soft, and carefully folded. She picked it up, confused. There was a tiny note stitched inside, for someone who might need warmth today. Margaret's eyes filled with tears. She hadn't realized how much she needed that warmth, not just for her body, but for her heart. She wore the sweater that day when she went to the grocery store. At the checkout line, a young woman noticed it and smiled. "My grandmother used to knit sweaters just like that," she said. Margaret smiled back, surprised at how good it felt to be seen. The next day, Margaret placed a scarf on the same bench with her own note, "For someone who might need kindness today." Soon, neighbors began joining in. Gloves, hats, small notes, even homemade cookies. The bench became a place of quiet connection. People didn't talk much, but they smiled. Sometimes they cried. Sometimes they simply sat. One afternoon, a little girl sat next to Margaret and said, "My mom says you started this." Margaret gently shook her head. "No, sweetheart. Someone just reminded me that love doesn't disappear with age." That winter, the maple tree lost its leaves. But Margaret no longer felt alone. She had found purpose again, not in loud moments, but in small acts of care. And every morning, she sipped her tea by the window. She smiled because her heart was warm again.